Okay, this is the Crompton High School Duke of Edinburgh's Award Expedition Bronze Route 1 Day 1. First of all, quick disclaimer, the blue line that's on the map might not correspond exactly with the route map, but what the objective is here is to give you an idea of what the route is going to look like in reality. So, Route 1 then here is starting from here, actually, in all effects. This is Holy Trinity Church in the centre of Littleborough. From Holy Trinity, you're going to come out underneath the railway viaduct and then round to the left here. If you take this road to the right, that'll take you up to Hollingworth Lake. That would be the wrong way. So you're going out to the left and then in here into this road, which then follows round over the canal, which is here, and follows round, bends round to the right into then this little valley that we have. Let's put it in the centre of the screen roughly there. The path now becomes clearly defined. As you can see, it's this sort of light coloured path. To the right, we've got a flat top hill. To the left, we've got here some what looks like coniferous woodland. On the left-hand side here, we've got what looks like some sort of water body, maybe a small lake. The path then bends around. We can get it to bend around a little bit more. There we go. To the right. We come round this way. Again, you can see here, this is where it's not quite corresponding. Here's the path, the actual path that you're going to be walking on. It goes along here, so you're keeping that flat-topped hill to your right. You'll then enter into what looks here to be, again, some woodland, and this is actually the visitor centre for Hollingworth Lake. The actual first checkpoint is up here at the top, just to the left here, at the point where the pathway comes out to meet this road. And what I'll do is I'll put a checkpoint marker, attach it to the fencing up at the top. Obviously, if a member of staff's there, you check in with them. If a member of staff isn't there, then you leave all of your information at the checkpoint marker. From there, from that first checkpoint, which shouldn't take you a huge amount of time to get to, forget, again, not corresponding here, we're not walking across the water. We're going to follow this road in here. Now the road continues onwards along here. What you need to do is, as you get to the edge of the lake, to the end of the lake, you need to take this pathway, or this roadway, sorry, in here, which is the entrance to this, which is a camping and caravan park. Okay. There's also, you might see signs for a nature reserve. This here will be the nature reserve. Okay, now you're going to keep that campsite, that camp and caravan site, on your left as you come up in, and I assume here you're going to be coming down here and joining onto this pathway here. I'm just going to move over slightly here because, of course, it was also on your left-hand side here quite a large sports field, obviously marked out there for rugby. There's also a cricket square down there. In front of you, what you will see going from left to right, although of course not like that, it will be slightly more flat, as it were, is the M62 motorway. If you can't see it, it's more than likely that you're going to hear it as you get closer to it. But anyway, we carry on then along this track, and the track then here bends around. Let's get behind. Let's try that. Okay, and then coming around here, and then down here. Before then, we see a movement. It's going to go, let's bring it back there. There we go. Now you're going to be heading straight towards the motorway, and also you're going to be coming up here to a golf course. We've got here bunkers and the greens dotted around. We're still following this main road. If you're looking out for road signage or path signage, then it's going to be, yes, towards a golf club, until you get to the M62 motorway itself, where you're going to be taking this bridge over the M62. Obviously, health and safety warning, but it goes without saying that we only cross the motorway using either bridge or tunnel. As you come away from the motorway, then the pathway then moves off towards the right. Now this area here is well known in Bronze DV terms as being a sort of a dead area where people can quite easily, if they lose concentration, make a mistake and go off any number of ways. So my suggestion to you guys here would be definitely to be hot on your bearings and hot on your distances. So you're going to follow the path up to this junction here and then up here, but only for a short kind of distance. Actually going to take more. There we go. Only for a short distance up here. Okay. What you might see here, what this thing here is a disused mine shaft or mine air vent. There's fencing around it, if I remember rightly. So, and there may well be signs on there saying "Do not climb." If you carry on further down here, there's a gate around here and another disused mine shaft, which is obviously very much closer to the pathway. If you get down there, you've gone too far and you need to turn back. Now, the bearing of this path is pretty much due south. So you're going to follow this pathway here. Actually, it's along here. Follow this pathway along here, going due south until you come here to, this is the Rough Bank Farm area. Come down onto this track and then take a left, following down here through that farm complex and up here towards this area, this woodland area here, before coming very, very, and this is quite a sharp descent as well, which you might not be able to see from this video. You make this sharp descent down here and you should by this point be able to see this factory. You're actually going to go through the yard of the factory. We'll go down here and then actually up here where the arrow is going, and then along here. And this now is the road that takes you back towards Ogden car park. The church and the cemetery graveyard is here, and then Ogden Reservoir itself is here, and the car park where we met for your first walk is here, and this is your second checkpoint. And once again, it's highly unlikely that this will be manned, so what we'll do is on the notice board here I'll put up a checkpoint marker. Not a bad point for you to take your lunch in, not a bad point also because there are obviously public toilets in that complex, in that building. So after you've had your lunch or your loo stop, and carry on here following the road for a short period of time until you actually see a track that'll take you down and around this part of the reservoir, crossing over here, crossing over that little, what now would be a stream, and now you're going to be going up. But before you do that, here you might just about faintly be able to make out, but you should obviously be able to make that out there. This is the point at which you're going to cross the electricity transmission line, and the electricity transmission line is a fantastic navigational aid for you because it's so big and it can be seen for miles around. But yeah, carry on climbing up. I'll zoom out a little bit, you might get a bit of a better. Yeah. And so you get to up here, this pathway bends around here. This is actually on one of the walks that you did on the Ogden Walk. You're going to come back to this junction. Spinning there. Okay, so you're going to come back to this junction. Now if you take this junction here, it's going to take you up to Windy Hill, which obviously we don't want to go to. Definitely the blue line isn't going there. But here, you've got following the pathway here, and again it's nicely marked out the path. You'll be able to see quite clearly the reservoir here, quite clearly the woodland that will be grown. It's deciduous woodland in that area. And you come down here to the point where you'll be able to hear the waterfalls that are marked on the map. Not a natural waterfall, it's just an area obviously where the water is making a rapid change in altitude. From there, you're then taking this pathway, which is quite a steep pathway. There's going to be a real sense of achievement when you get to the top of this one. But keep going up here until you get to this main road here, and this building here is the Ram's Head pub and restaurant. That's your final day one checkpoint. Again, if staff are there, which they more than likely will be, you sign in with them. Alternatively, we will make sure that there's a checkpoint marker there for you. You have to be very careful crossing this road, and I would cross it at this point, but be extremely careful. The speed limit on this road is 50 miles an hour, but people don't always keep to the speed limit, so be extremely cautious crossing the road. You then walk along this way here until you come to, there's a gate, wooden gate, and a path here which leads off, you might just about be able to make out, which leads off to another reservoir up here. There's quite a steep valley here, that's quite a steep descent down there. Come to this pathway here along this dam wall, and obviously keeping the keeping the reservoir on your left hand side. You're going to go up here again, quite a clearly well-defined pathway, and then a clear well-defined pathway goes off in this direction, so you are actually coming back on yourself. There is a hill here, by the way, so it's not as if it would be quicker to go that way. There's no footpath, you need to go all the way around. And at this point, again, you'll be able to see there's a pathway, clear pathway, that leads you out here to another main road. And again, you need to walk along this main road, staying as far away from the road as possible, so as to remain safe. Again, people will drive at ridiculous ridiculous speeds up and down there. From there, you're pretty much on the home straight now. You've got New Year's Bridge Reservoir in this area. I would take a bearing. The pathway isn't clearly defined here. I would take a bearing and walk across or along this area of open kind of countryside. You're going to be then ascending up to this junction of pathways up here, taking this pathway. It's coming down, and this is quite, again, a sharp descent as you get to this point here. Come down here too, there's a farm complex here which you will be able to take the footpath through and then down before coming around. This must be Castleshaw Lower Reservoir here. Back out here, in fact, following this road here, and then coming around, and we're actually camping in here in this field, which is the Castleshaw Centre. So that's Bronze, Route 1, Day 1.